We're back, guys. Welcome to Mixed Emotions Second Thoughts, the podcast where we dive deep into the experiences that shape us, the relationships that define us, and the lessons that stay with you. I'm JP.
I'm Miss Cece J, and together we're here to explore the stories, the struggles, and the triumphs that come with love, life, and everything in between. So let's get right into it.
Everything. I kind of like this topic because I feel like we spent the beginning talking a lot about
Womp womp.
relationships.
Thanks.
Relationships. We talked about friendships.
Mm-hmm.
When we talked about, myths. And I think this kind of dived a little bit deeper into relationships, but a different type of romantic relationships and some almost like another one of those type of questions, mythy type of experience, the cliche of it all.
Mm-hmm.
This episode is romance and the resume. And so
Whoop, whoop.
we can only speak. Let me preface this with, again, we can only speak from our perspective as women. So we cannot speak for the man. So this is the question that we thought about.
Okay.
Why is it that when a man is successful, love is a reward? People are okay with him being with a woman and her being taken care of and all of those good things, and him being successful in love is like a great big thing. However, when a woman is successful, love feels like a sacrifice.
Yeah, that's pretty deep. And I think it has to do with roles. The society and the world that we in and the roles that people are supposed to have or should carry, right? Think back in the day, the man worked. Most women were stay-at-home wives and mothered the children and took care of the household. They weren't required to work. It wasn't even a thought. Although staying home, taking care of the kids and minding the house is a job in itself. It wasn't a thing to actually go out and work for someone, right? So I think if we base it off of that narrative, right? How are we supposed to take care of the household 100% and work a job? So it seems like somewhere has to lose. You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
it has to be pulled from somewhere. So it is a sacrifice that if I want to work and do all of this and do all of that, that I'm not going to be able to give my everything to this. So I think that's where it falls. For me, I'm going to relate it to balance as being a single mom, right? As having to work. If I don't work, me and my kids don't eat, right? But that's something that I've always struggled with. Motherhood was easy to me. That came natural. I always knew I would be a mom, right? But when it came to me being the sole and the only provider for my children, that takes away from my household. So I used to struggle very, very much so with balance. Dang, I got to give this much at work. Crap, I need to be home to do homework. I got to get them to practice, but I also want to date and I want to have a social life and I want to see my friends. So it was like when I did have a free moment, I was so unsure of where to spend it. Like, I was like, oh, do I stay home and take a nap? Do I get some sleep? Because a girl could use some sleep.
Absolutely.
Or do I link up with my girls because I haven't had time and I haven't seen them? Or do I go on a date because I want a man? Like, so I think that's what it has to do with. So to be successful, the time it takes to be successful, you're pulling it from other areas of your life. I think.
So no, I'm gonna agree with with your initial thought of roles. I think when it's okay when a man is successful and has a wife, or he's in love, or he's with a woman, and that woman is kept and taken care of, and she may work in her own right, but she may not be as successful as he is and makes as much as he makes. And so I think societal norms is that he is supposed to be the breadwinner. He is supposed to make the money. He is supposed to be those things and take care of and provide. And so it's okay for a woman to be kept. But when you think of a woman saying, hey, I'm the breadwinner in the household. I make more money than you. I pay the bills. You have a job. You may take on some of those smaller responsibilities in the home because I make more money. It's such a cliche. And then it's like, it's hard to find a man secure enough
To allow.
to be with a woman who makes more money than him, who is who may have a little bit more shine than him, whose job may require some things that his doesn't. I can speak 100% from I've experienced that.
Yeah.
With working, I don't care if I come in and just be this person. Promotion happens, and I remember
I was just about to say
promotion happens.
Facts.
And so as I started to promote in my job, it also required me to travel a lot. Mm-hmm. And so I'm traveling. I'm probably gone 2 weeks out of every month. And that was extremely hard to balance that relationship with my partner in my work life because I was gone for 2 weeks. But when I'm home for 2 weeks, I'm still working, but I'm trying to get time in with you and the kids and spend time with you guys and X, Y, and Z. And ultimately, he couldn't handle that I was gone so much. But when a man is traveling for work,
it's normal. It's expected. It's
expected.
No thoughts about it.
And everybody's okay with the woman being home to maintain the household. It becomes like this is what's supposed to happen. But when it's reversed, it's difficult to find a man who has the right mindset. I talk about security, but it's also a mindset that you got to be able to have to deal with a person who, and I'm going to say this.
Because I got something good. I hope I don't lose it. Go ahead.
Don't lose it. I'm going to come right back to you. Because I think the key word there is successful. And the reality is how you equate success. And very often society says it's based on income. But if that man doesn't see success as income and sees his woman or sees himself as more successful because maybe to him, time with my kids is more successful. You know what I'm saying? So I think it's like that's a big one. But I'm going to stop. I don't want you to lose what you're going to say.
No. And I was going to say I totally agree with that too. And I was like, let me say this. I'm personally not into roles, right? There are simple and certain things that I would expect or hope that my man would do. Gas, trash. That's simple stuff, right? Yes. But when it comes to who take care of the kids, whatever works for you, I'm 100%
Because I want a nanny
with that. You want a what?
A nanny.
Oh, I don't think I want a nanny, but I know a lot of people who do, and nothing wrong with that. Whatever works for you, you know what I mean? And that's my bottom line too. And I was just about to say, I've experienced this too. Men feeling that I was too popular. I host parties. I'm on the mic. I'm on the internet. My sisters are very, very popular. My sister travels the world as an exotic entertainer. So, we act. I'm in movies and different little things. So a lot of people, when I'm out, will know me, There's one guy he just used to giggle every time. Because when I say every time we went out, we ran into somebody who knew me or, hey, CC, hey, Sierra, hey, you know what I mean? So that was a thing for him, you know what I mean? You know how he never necessarily say it, but you can just kind of tell by the remarks, right? So let me say this, and I think people, most oftenly, okay, they are aligned. But for me, it's not. I'm popular, but I'm not successful. I'm sorry. Let me take that back. I said that wrong. We're going to edit that part. I'm popular. I'm not accessible. And that's a big difference. You know what I mean? People just think, oh, they can be in your DM. They can write. So what? They can write. Do I respond? Am I engaging? Just because somebody knows me don't mean I know them.
Exactly.
Oh my God, your girl Flex's sister. Oh my God, you Big D's sister. Yes, I am. Hi, how you doing? I'm the biggest one. That'd be our running joke. Yes, I'm the biggest one. I'm the oldest. Put some respect on being the oldest, okay? No, but and I think that makes a big difference. That also causes tension sometimes. You know what I mean? Because, dang, everybody know my girl. I've often heard a few men say they don't want a known woman. You know what I'm saying? They don't want a popular woman. You're too accessible. No, I'm not.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? I've also, on the flip side, heard you're the most available person I know. I've had it all. So that also goes into the success, you know, and popularity. Like you said, I have to promote, I have to travel. I'm the face of this, you're the face of that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And a lot of men, I'm not speaking for all, I don't know, but there are a lot of men who can't handle that, who don't want that.
Absolutely.
So it's like, I'm super successful out here, but I'm going to go back to my famous statement. I'm superwoman in my world. I need someone I can take my cape off with.
Absolutely.
I don't want to be CCJ when I get home. I
Yeah.
don't want to be her. So I need the security and the safety in that area. You know what I mean? Like,
Absolutely.
if that makes sense. So I think that has a big thing on it too, especially now with the way society has shifted. Everything is social media based.
Yeah.
Everything is out in the open. Everybody knows. And I personally don't think I'm that popular. You know what I mean? I can go out of town and nobody know me. Yeah, I mean, in my little city, they do. But outside of that,
Big city, big D, real D. Stop talking about in my little city. Pause on all of those D's, but pause.
I'm a D girl wholeheartedly.
Okay.
Okay, 313.
Okay, Eastside,
but
baby.
no, I'm
Eastside,
I'm
keep
Detroit.
going. Keep
Don't
going.
get me started.
Keep
She
going.
goes.
No, just go.
I'm not West Side. I'm not East Side. I'm Detroit. Okay, I lived all over. That's how I own it, because I don't want to beef with nobody.
I
Okay,
don't want to be for nobody either, but I'm still Eastside. Go.
all right. But I mean, that was just really it. So like I
Oh.
said, it ties into, again, what you think is success, because what success looks like to you isn't what success looks like to me. Because again, for someone who's in the open world, success is 1 million followers and everybody knowing their name and being on it.
Yeah.
That's success to some people. But for me, success is a husband, a family, financial security. I ain't gotta be known for that. You know what I'm saying? I don't have to be.
I'll
yeah.
say this. I think I've dealt with enough men, been around enough men to know that men, some people want different things.
Mm-hmm.
Some men are okay with their woman, having all of these things. And some men can glorify what they see on social media and don't want that for their woman at all.
Yeah.
I'll like every picture. I'll go look at every story
Ooh, they
she posts.
want them.
And I'm like, oh, she a bad one. But let me you don't take that down, but you just you know what I'm saying? So, but it's also, you got to know your partner. But I'll say, I think sometimes people be like, oh, our grandfathers and your grandma, but that is societal and that was that time frame. One, let me say this, women, it wasn't that the woman didn't work. It was that she couldn't
That
work.
part is a big
There's
difference.
a difference. Like literally the building that I work in right now, the women's bathrooms are so small and tiny
Oh, I'd be
because
stressed out.
when the building was designed, women weren't working. So there was no women bathroom. So they took these little closets and converted them when women were able to work in
Can't
the
breathe.
world.
I hate them bathrooms, Lord.
The bathrooms suck, but we weren't thought about. So we talk about, what they didn't do back in the day and what grandma didn't do back in the day, but grandma couldn't work. So what grandma was responsible for was the check, because grandpa gave her the check and said, hey, you manage the finance, you do the grocery shopping, you do these things. And so men say they want to go back in the day, but you don't, because you don't want to provide the way grandpa had to provide either.
Yeah.
So as a woman who's always had ambition and knew what I wanted, I want to do this and I knew for me what success looked like was being able to go when I wanted to go and not have to be like, one of the things I say all the time is I have a daughter, but I say biologically, I don't have a biological child. And one of the reasons why I never wanted to produce children was I used to say, I don't want to ever have to tell my kid no. I want to be able to, if I tell my child no, I never wanted it to be for the reason of we can't afford it.
We didn't have it.
I would rather it have been, no, you don't deserve it. You haven't earned it.
You got in trouble.
You know what I'm saying? You got in trouble or one of those reasons, but not no because I cannot afford it. And so I think that has been a very big driver for me. Like, okay, I want to be able to take care of and provide and support my family.
Not think twice about it.
Not that I think, well, we grew up a little differently. My mom, as I was growing up, began to go back to school, get really good jobs. My mom has shown me what successful black woman looks like. But on the flip side of that, one thing my mom has not been able to show me is a successful marriage, a successful relationship. So my mom is financially successful, degrees and accolades, but on the other side of that, she's alone, has been married 3 times because she's going to keep trying at love until she gets it right. But very often, when you talk about taking a cape off, I feel like that's what I need in my partnership, because I'm going to say this. I'm not going to stop growing. I'm not going to stop developing. I'm not going to stop making money. I literally, she will tell you, I work a job. I do pretty okay for myself. Somebody called me. I didn't apply for this job. I didn't know the job was out there. They called me and offered me double my current salary. If money meant everything to me, I would be working there right now. It's not about money for me. It's about me being able to do what I love. And inadvertently, what I love does produce money.
Yeah.
But I think that I don't want to have to ever again. And I'll say this. One of the reasons why I didn't immediately jump for that job is because, one, I'm in a new situation. And my past experience with the type of job this is, where I know I have to travel because I'm responsible for this new job. If I take it, I got 6 sites. You know what I'm saying? And they're not all in, they're not in, it's one in Michigan. The rest are in 6 other places. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, I know travel will be involved. And what my past showed me is when I was successful, I managed 6 different sites then. I had 2 international. I had 4 domestic. And I had to travel to these places, and I had 48 clients I was supporting, and all of these different things. My relationship suffered because I wasn't with a man that could handle that your woman has to be gone for a week. I gotta be, and I would do stuff like, I know I'm going to be gone for a week. I'm going to, create fun little gifts for him and the kids, or make an activity box for him and the kids to do while I'm away. And I know we have Taco Tuesdays on Tuesday, so I'm going to go get a gift card for this Tuesday and a gift card for this Tuesday for you guys to be able to go get tacos without me. And I would think about all of those things to try to keep my presence felt. And it didn't work that way because he was just cheating on me. He had a woman when I was his woman when I was here, and when I wasn't here, he was out here with doing his thing. And so there was a fear for me to take this job, and I keep saying, well, it's travel required. It's travel required. And even as a successful woman, that was the thought I had with, do I go make this money, still doing what I love, or do I run the risk of losing my relationship because can he handle this type of life?
Yeah, that sucks.
Isn't it?
It sucks very,
but
very
men
badly.
don't have to think like that.
They ain't got that luxury. That's just what it is. Because that's how it's supposed to be.
How it's supposed to be.
I ain't, like I said, I'm not into roles and things of that nature. If it turns out, baby, I don't feel like working right now, well, let's talk about it. Baby, I want to go back to school. Cool. I'm going to grind for you while you go to school. Once you do this, all right, baby, it's my turn. Now I'm going to take off. But these are conversations. This is communication. It can be done. What works for you and Paul might not work for me and Jimmy. It's just that simple. And so you can't
Jimmy. These names
but all of
we
that,
be saying,
we just
bro.
be making, baby, it be coming out of nowhere. But it's just like, and we so often like relationship goals. We see this and we want that. So I don't, because I don't know what the hell they had to go through to get
doors,
there.
baby.
I don't. It looks good on the surface, but what's really happening on the inside? You know what I mean? I think about all of and this just literally brought the song in my Kelly Rowland, "Dirty Laundry." Getting beat behind closed doors, having to put on makeup, and you know what I mean, was like, what? Then this stuff come out and we like, did you want that? Like, that's the goal of a relationship? No, I want what works and fits for me. You know what I mean? And women too, we also have to know when to turn it on and turn it off. That's another thing too. Like, we got to know when to do that as well. But it definitely, at hindsight, it definitely always seems like a sacrifice more for the woman.
Yeah, you got to sacrifice.
But now, I'm going to say, in this world that we live in, now, I think the men are starting to feel it a little bit more because the woman is pissed you ain't home.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Those are arguments.
Yeah.
It's just like a busy man, please don't quote me, I don't know all of the quotes or whatever. Like, a busy man is a broke man, or if he got time, he ain't got money. If he got money, he ain't got time. So it'd be like, pick your struggle, sis.
Yeah.
So I do feel like they are starting to feel it now.
Yeah.
And it is a little bit different, you know, but I also think that's where that compromise come in. Let me get a job so that you don't have to work that hard, right? So that we can have more time together and equally be with the kids, but that is communication. vacation. Back in the day, it wasn't a thing. The woman wasn't saying nothing that the man is gone on the railroad for 2 weeks because that was normal.
That was normal.
But now we pitching fits. Where you at? What
I'm
you
going
doing? Why
with
you
you.
not home? I'm
Why
packed
you
the
cut
kids
your
up.
location
Like,
off?
that's different. Don't do that. That's real different. But ultimately, I think that they are starting to feel it a little bit too, but it still remains that I feel like a successful woman does have to sacrifice more.
I think a lot
in
of
those
successful
things.
women, it's really big because you keep having to downplay. Sometimes you have to downplay what you know, your experiences, what you want to do sometimes.
Oh my God, child.
Like, it's okay. We don't have to go there. Baby, I really wanted to go. And sometimes you have to do that. But I think I don't. I think conversations are really important. Like, I don't know, even in my current situation, we've talked about finances briefly, but we've not like, hey, this is what I make. What do you make? We're not there yet. You know what I'm saying? But we had a conversation about, you know, how does finances play into marriage? Like, if we, you know, just talking about future endeavors or whatever. And I said, you know, for me, I think it's important to know who makes the most money. And I'm like, you know, we need to know that. And I feel like if I'm with the person, let's figure out how to live on one income. Let's figure out how to stack your income. You know what I'm saying? Like, it don't matter who makes the most money. What makes the most sense
That
for our
part.
household. And so I think I love that we were able to have that conversation. Because I think we both do well for ourselves. And so how can we survive on one income? You know, can we live off of yours? If he makes more money, cool. Baby, let's live on yours and put mine up. Or if I make more money, let's live on mine and put yours up. And let's figure out how we can do this. But I think I'm fortunate to have a situation, but I also haven't we haven't dived deep enough to know if it'll change it. You know what I'm saying? We don't know who does what. So here's my question. Could you marry a man who makes less money than you?
Yes.
Cool.
Yes. Because again, and this is my outlook. I don't care. Y'all can be mad all y'all want to. Maybe it'll change later. Who cares? With or without a man, my bills have to be paid. My children have to be taken care of.
Absolutely.
So I would be looking for my mate to be an addition, to be you know what I'm saying, to be a blessing. I'm not. That's just the bottom line. So I don't care. Like, I have to do X, Y, and Z with or without you. Like, that's just my motto. Like, I mean, not even a motto. That's just how my brain works. So I could be with a man that makes less than me because I got to do what I have to do regardless.
But
like,
see, that's where I feel like. So I get you. Regardless if I'm married or not, my bills have to be paid. But if I'm married, they're no longer mine. They're ours.
Facts.
And so I need there to be some type of contribution. Like, I don't want
Yeah.
to keep carrying they got to get done regardless, so I got it. But I'm going to say this. Could I marry a man who makes less than me? Absolutely. Because I feel like, what else can you contribute? What else do you bring? How do we combine what we have together
and make it
grow? But
Mm-hmm.
my real question is for men: can you marry a woman who makes more than you? Are you secure enough? Mm-hmm. Because it takes a very secure man.
Absolutely.
It makes me think about that movie with oh my God, with Morris Chestnut, Gabrielle Union, and no, not the Christmas movie. It was the movie with Vivica Fox. Two can play that game. And remember, Karen had gotten with Bobby Brown. He was working on her car. His teeth was jacked up. She made the money. And he was singing, "Oh, Karen." Y'all got it right.
I don't remember.
So, but in that movie, though, she kind of got his life together for him and got his teeth fixed and did all these things for him. And then he started smelling himself. He started feeling good about himself. And then, so as a man, can you seriously and genuinely be with a woman who makes more money than you? And then it makes me think about Mary J. Blige. She married her manager. They got together, and, you know, he managed all this stuff for her, and they got divorced. And then now she has to pay this alimony every month. The life you helped me to build is the life you're now trying to snatch from me. Like, I think it's just like a lot to think about in that regard. So saying this, if you married a man who made less than you, would you get a prenup?
I'd personally, no. No, because what am I getting married for? I don't plan to marry to divorce. Y'all don't get me wrong. I know life happens. I'm a hopeless romantic. I own that. I just do. So I personally wouldn't. I mean, unless it was like, and again, man, let me say this. In the space that I'm in right now, no, I ain't got shit. Like, you know what I mean? I got some stuff, but not for real. So I'm not trying to
This
speak negatively.
podcast is doing well, and it's going to produce a lot.
It
so
is.
she got this podcast.
Yeah.
So I just want to make sure that if she gets married, that he don't have rights to this
So
podcast.
that's what I was about to say. That it may be different once I have a little bit more, and that was
This
still
podcast is a lot right now.
when I had okay.
Right.
What I will say is, okay, what I will say is that if I did, it would be more so on what I came in with. You know what I mean? Like, this is protected, you know, but at this, it's a catch-22. This is just my point because I feel like you're planning to fail when you do that. Not necessarily, but ultimately, if I'm planning to protect this in the event that we get a divorce, like, you're going into it negatively already, you know? So this is just my thoughts. But ultimately, some things, because this will be ours, right? I would make sure no one could touch this because this ain't got nothing to do with for you. You get what I'm saying? Protect what we have. So absolutely, if I have a business partner and something else, that should not be touched. So I think it'll be more or less of what I have, certain things that I've established before you are off limits. But anything that we build together or whatever, you know, something like that. But I don't think anyone ever plans to get divorced.
Yes.
Yeah, before. That's exactly what it is. Yeah, prenuptials. Like,
what we build together is
ours. Like,
But
you
no,
know,
it's based on what you put in that prenuptial agreement.
that's what I'm about to say
so
too.
it's based on what you write. And so I've always felt the way you felt right now. Like, no, I don't want to go in planning to fail, right? But lately, I've been thinking like, and not that I'm feel as though I'm at a position where I'm going to get a prenup if I get married. It's just been something that I've been thinking about
yeah.
as I've been exploring conversations or topics
And
to
because
talk
it's
about
happening
here.
so much.
But it's like this because let me say that we're at a point now where people are creating businesses and things that are flourishing so well that they never expected to flourish, and now you're getting a lot more wealthy, and then we're creating a lot more wealth these days. And so these are things we hadn't had to think about before, but now we have to think about it.
That's real.
And so as I was exploring topics for the podcast, I thought about a prenup, and I thought about the fact that I get it now.
Now, yeah.
I get it now in a sense of this. It's not me planning to fail. It's me planning. I want to do it while I still love you. I want to think about how much I love you so much right now that if we're not together, I want you to be good. Because, baby, if we go through everything that we go through, when that end happened, I don't give a damn. You know what I'm saying? Like, I want you to take care of me or think about the later if it happens while you love me. Because while you love me, you feel like I would still want her to be okay.
Yeah.
I want her to be happy.
Yeah.
Even if she's not with me. But you're thinking like that. Pause. But you're thinking like that in a sense of, you know what? I want to make sure, even if it's, hey, I want to make sure that my business partner is protected in the event that something happens. Yeah. And I tell you what, you can also say in that prenuptial agreement, whatever we build together is 50-50.
Facts.
Whatever I come into the marriage with is mine. I leave with it. And regardless to how it grows within the marriage, it remains mine. But whatever we build together, I'm willing in this moment to say, if you and I build this business together, that when we separate, if we separate, if we separate, that we can split that 50-50. Because what happens is we didn't say that. And now we built this $1 million business and we're separating. And now we're trying to figure out how much sweat equity we put in. How much, who did what. No, that was my idea. I came up with the colors.
It's too much.
People know the colors. They don't know, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And now it's too much. But if we say, hey, I love you enough right now in this moment that if something was to happen and we were to separate for any reason, I want you to be okay.
Yeah.
And I think there's nothing wrong with that. I
Yeah, if
don't,
you do it in the beginning and it's a conversation and there's no malicious intent behind it. So that's ultimately what I was saying. Like now it's like, okay, it's a little different. And because they can be worded to an extent, just don't, like you said, do it when you're in a good place.
Yeah.
Because when you're angry and when you have those doubts, it can become malicious and it can become angry and it can become bitter. And so
Bitter.
you don't want that. So that's the second thought. I would totally agree to it now in a sense of we're agreeing that no matter what, we're going to be okay.
Yeah.
Because sometimes when you're angry, you see red and you can't see the lines and you can't see that I did love this man or this woman at one point. This was my best friend. You know what I'm saying? Stuff just happens. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? But, and I'll say this to say, and I don't think no one gets married to get divorced, right?
Never.
But I also know people who be like, yeah, because by my husband number 3, I'm like, you planning to have multiple husbands? Like, you know. I hear that too. I do. Like they just look at it and get married because it's what they're supposed to do, and it don't work. Divorce is so quick. People don't fight the same anymore
Yep.
as they used to do back in the day. So I'm going to say right now, today, I do only want to get married one time.
One time.
I want to be sure. We're going to have some real stuff in place. We're going to have the tough conversations. We can't wait till we 10 years down the line then try to talk about some stuff that we should have been talked about. Like you said, y'all are now having the financial conversation. So you should have the financial conversation.
Where do you
should
wanna
have
live?
where the kid
Where the kid-
conversation. You should have the are you willing to relocate because this is what's happening in my job and in my career, or this is my dream, or these things need to be talked about.
Yeah.
The deal breakers need to be talked about. The things that you know deep down inside that you can't handle need to be talked about. Even if it's a maybe, well, I ain't really sure. Even that's a conversation.
do you want children? How many children do you want? Okay, well, sometimes that's a fine line. Are you okay with us adopting? Are you okay with us having a surrogate? Do I have to carry the baby? Like, you know, those are things that you need to talk about because ultimately, to me, that's what makes it successful.
Yeah.
It's not the... That's
A lot
the
of what?
word.
What'd he
Without
say?
a vision.
Oh, without a vision, people perish. I like that.
Yeah, without a vision, the people perish is what the scripture, what the word says.
sermon.
You have to have...
Come on with it. I'm serious.
But it does. Cause but that is how you become successful in your relationship. And so I think it's about equating a successful relationship versus a successful person. Because the reality is, if we're together, then it's us.
It's us.
It's not
Yeah.
my wife makes more or my man makes, you know,
We.
or my husband. It's what we bring into our household.
It's very
So,
tough.
it's
but you
tough.
have to. Even sex, you have to have these conversations. People don't want to. No, baby, I don't like that. That ain't working for me. Let's try something
Pineapples.
different.
What you like, Sierra? Pineapples.
Pineapples. You got it. Which one?
I don't know. Red.
No, I think this is all my
It's
bad.
red.
Bingo.
Boom.
Period. She was right. Amen. Mm-hmm.
No,
But
I agree.
Conversations.
Conversations are necessary.
This is what my career trajectory looks like. I may be getting this promotion. If this is my goal, I'm claiming this. Are you going to be like conversations need to be had?
Like you said, are you okay if I want to go back to school?
Are you okay with that? Baby, I want to take off.
Can our household handle this?
Sustain.
Can we handle me going back to school and then that means you got to be more present with the kids for this, and we might need to get a nanny on the weekends for this, or we might need to get a driver to take the kids to school. Like we have to, are you okay with that type of balance? And so
Yeah.
for me, I think it's hard to say, but I think we have to shift how we see success.
That you have to.
We've got to stop
You have to.
equating that to who makes the most
money. It's not about that.
Because I'm telling you, I don't want a situation where it's about the money. Because whatever comes in this house
It's
belongs to
ours.
this house.
Yeah.
And it's ours. And it is a difficult thing to make a mindset adjustment. We're not trained that way. We're not brought up that way. We've not been exposed to those type of situations.
Facts.
I heard a man, I wish I could remember who he was. It was a clip, and he was a millionaire. And it was on a podcast, and he was telling someone how his ex-wife has access to all of the accounts. He said she just didn't
His
get to...
ex-wife? Okay.
He said because when they were married, he said, I loved her. When we loved each other. We came in loving each other. There was no prenup for us because who knew that I would be this successful? We wanted it, but we didn't know it would happen. So we got married in love. And he said how she went through all of the ride with him. She went through everything with him, and they just so happened to get divorced right before he blew up. He said, but she deserved to still experience the life that she should have experienced if we had still been together. We just didn't work out, but she deserved to experience this, so she has access to everything.
That's what I was about to
No.
say. How does that work? Is he with someone
He
now?
said, yep, they're both with other people, but for me, that's okay. That's normal. Like, we talked about your family last night, and your cousin's baby mama, and the new guy and everything is for around, and so they're still all around each other.
Yes, but I mean, as a woman, thanks, but with my new man, are you comfortable with another man taking care of me?
That's a
And
conversation
so that's
that
what I'm
we
saying.
have to
so that's
have.
where my eyebrow went. Not in I mean, as a man, I respect him and appreciate him for that. Thank you for looking out for her.
She's
but like
dating.
Dre
She's
said,
not married. She's not married, but he
oh,
said she,
okay.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
see, that's why I was like,
No. But she is in a relationship. He said, but she still has the access. He was like, I'm never going to cut her off. I'm never. And so if she cuts herself off, that would be different. But he said, I'm never going to cut her off because. And I feel like that's a conversation.
yeah, I respect him for that. It was no eyebrow to that.
Yeah.
But I'm just thinking about my man. Well, I don't know who he is or what he's gonna be. But
Amazing.
in my experiences, right, would a man be okay knowing that his woman, you know what I'm saying? Like, is that okay? But it all boils down to a conversation. You know what I'm saying?
But think about it like this. Think about women who may be divorced from a successful man who gets alimony
That's different.
every month.
That's different.
How?
Because it's legal. And this is a set amount coming every so often versus...
Right, because here's the reality. I had to go get alimony because you just wasn't willing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I guess.
Yeah, it's no different than saying, hey, because I wasn't successful for her to get alimony.
But I don't know. Maybe y'all know or not. But I thought, like, if a woman gets married again, the alimony stops.
It depends on the agreement.
Okay. All right.
Because Shani O'Neal's hers stopped. It depends on what that agreement looks like.
Okay.
But most of the
I
time,
know.
typically it does.
So that's what I'm saying.
Like, said, all right, I need to get you to sign a prenup. Like, how would you feel?
So I'm okay with that.
It depends. Yeah, I think that I would be okay with it. It's just what are the terms? Don't try to dick me around. You get what I'm saying?
We'll
Like
do
I
that,
said.
but not in the contract.
Pause.
I'm sorry, Mom.
Yes, but ultimately, so that boils down to maliciousness. If it says in the prenup, I plan to do this with what we build together, X, Y, Z, but this is off limits and a nasty divorce, I would be okay with that.
Yeah, the
like,
prenup.
you get what
so
I'm
let me say
saying? Like,
this.
so it's the wording,
prenup,
it's what's in it.
There's negotiations
Yeah.
happening.
Yeah.
I'm okay with you telling me, hey,
Yeah.
baby, I feel like we should do this because I'm gonna tell you this. I believe in me enough to believe that I'm only going to get better.
Facts.
My life is only going to get
Facts.
greater, and so.
Not today. Sorry, no.
I hate that. But
Listen, oh, right, that would be funny.
But I'm okay with a man asking me if I
Yes.
wanted a prenup.
So what do you guys think? I want y'all to comment. How would you feel if your mate asks you for a prenup? How do you feel that the woman makes the most, that a successful woman makes the most sacrifices in love?
Would you stop if a man said, I have a problem with that? Like and he wanted you to stop.
Woo.
Would you stop?
Woo.
If he's like, baby, I make enough to take care of us. You ain't got to work. And you love what you do.
That's tough.
And this is your career. Like, this has been my childhood dream.
Yeah,
You
like
know,
would
this
I
is what I've
stop
always wanted to
hosting?
do.
Will we stop
Would you-
doing this? And right now, today, I'm like, hell no. But it sucks. But it's like, then you're gonna take away what I love, part of me and who I am. Conversations, guys. Have these conversations.
Yeah, are you? Because I need you to love
Please.
me, right? Love the whole me. And when you
Yeah.
met me, this is what I did. And when you
Yeah.
met, like if he's like, okay, baby, our kids are suffering. Our kids are suffering in the household because you working and you MCing and you record your podcast and then you got to go here, you flying here. My kids are suffering right now. I need you to cut back on everything that you're doing to be here more with the kids.
Knowing me, I'm gonna try to figure out how to manage it all. Let's pack these kids up. Let's make a family vacation out of it. But no, it really, again, it all depends. Circumstances
No.
gonna make a big difference.
See, this is where I'm gonna say,
is it true? Like, is this a real thing, or is this just something that he's saying? Do you get like
right? But
If that's a real conversation,
but he really came to you and said
Yeah.
this. So my thing is, why do I
gotta
have
do
to
it.
make the sacrifice?
Why you can't?
Baby, why you can't?
Why we
slow down
can't?
on
That's
your
what I'm saying. I
job?
would try to compromise. Like, okay, can I cut back? Can
You know what
you
it makes
cut
me think
back?
about? Did
Can
y'all
we-
watch? Oh, Jax. Reasonable Doubt.
Yes, I love that show.
Remember that's what her husband was complaining about.
He was mad.
He was mad because
He
he's
was
like,
mad.
Jax, you got to slow down. You don't spend time with the kids, and I'm doing this, and I'm doing pickups, I'm doing drop offs. And she like, so now I have to slow my life down and my career down for our kids. I didn't
Yeah.
produce them by myself.
Yeah, why
but
I
yet
gotta
you
do it
have
by
the
myself.
mentality
Yeah.
that I have to do it.
Oh, you know Cash Doll on season 3?
I know. I
Did
can't
you
wait
see
to see it.
that?
I cannot
Sorry,
wait
I love
to
that
see
show.
it, Cash. I cannot wait to see it.
Yes,
like, I'm so
I can't
excited
wait. Like,
for
what's
her.
she gonna be doing? What's her role? I'm excited. Yeah.
Yes. So,
I
yes.
do. I like that show. But that's a really, really good point. You know what I mean? So I'm all down for a conversation. I'm all down for what's the plan.
Yeah.
Can we say, baby, all right, if I set a goal and we say we're gonna retire after 10 years. Now I'm like, oh, let's extend it to 5. You get what I'm saying? Like, now, you see,
Yeah,
like
I'm
it's
going past what we
now
agreed
we're going
upon.
past
Now
what
I
we
can get it,
agreed
but
on.
yeah.
Like, so it's so many levels to these conversations. So
I'll say this. I think, and I'm saying this to women, it is very hard for us. Sometimes we have so many places in our lives where we have to make a sacrifice.
Mm-hmm.
And so you have to sometimes choose between romance and the resume. And to be honest, that's so horrible for us as
sucks.
women. It sucks because if I have a job that I love and it requires me to travel, or I'm working these odd hours, but I love what I do, and then he's upset because right now, so I gotta go to my blessing. But our lives are so our hours are so different.
yeah.
And so I'm in a place where he's kind of showing me the things that I've experienced in my past. I don't have to worry about with him, and it's so refreshing.
Amen.
I work Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. until 4:30 p.m. He works 4 p.m. until 1 a.m. Monday through Friday, which means we have no time to see each other during the week, physically see each other.
Yeah.
But that man will come downtown and take me to lunch at least once a week so that we can physically be with each other. You know what I'm saying? He will pull up and sometimes say, just come give me a kiss, because so we can have that time. And so I feel like what he's showing me is you don't have to
you
sacrifice
don't have to.
romance in your resume.
You don't.
If you have a person that's willing to make the sacrifice
Thank
with
you. Make it with you. Hey, and you know me. I'm
Baby, I
so
love you.
compromising.
If you watching this, I know you be watching.
Like, yeah, I'm so compromising. I just feel like there's a way to make it all work.
Yeah.
And I had somebody like, no, I don't. They didn't get off too late. I don't want you missing out on sleep, nigga. If I'm telling you I'm good, I'm good.
Yeah.
Like, I'm
And-
not coming.
and it's-
I don't want to break your sleep, like.
And
you
it's time to
trying
get
to
off
look
work
out
and
for
pull up.
me. But it's just like, in a sense, I'm trying to look out for you. I know you're not
I get
sleeping
it.
well.
But
I
baby, I
get
need
it.
you.
But if I'm telling you, that's what I'm saying. Those are the things that piss me off. I hear you. Thank you for thinking about my
Yeah.
sleep. But I'm telling you what I need.
I need to
I'm
see you.
telling you to break my sleep. I'm telling you to creep in
It's
here.
okay to creep in the
It's
house, baby. The
okay.
door
I'm
open.
if I'm telling you that these things are okay, for you to keep telling me that it's
because I think
not, it's
what men
frustrating.
don't understand is break my sleep because having you next to me is going to give me better sleep.
You understand? I
Like when
take
you
that.
not next to me, like when sometimes he'll get off work and he'll come over. When he comes and slides in that bed and puts his arm around me, or I feel him kiss me because he gonna kiss me first, and he gonna come over and give me a kiss. It's like, oh hey baby, like I can rest because you are here better.
Shout out to our producer though for the
Right,
like.
you
in
gonna
the
hit him
last
with that.
video. You got-
Hit him with the. Hit him with it, right? Hit him with it. Okay, all right, fine.
We asking too much. She said not today. But now
I need
that
that.
I don't know the different stages of sleep, so mind y'all business. But I'm gonna say 1, 2, 3, 3 being the best, right?
Right.
You might have been in the 2, but when he came in, I'm hit 3.
I'm
so
gonna-
I'm
and
gonna
I'ma
take
get-
that good hour of level
I'ma
3
get 4 good solid
versus
hours
this
of 3
4
sleep.
of 2. Like, what don't you understand about that? Like,
Yes.
So that was, I dealt with that a lot. That was a situation that used to piss me off.
Yeah.
Like, nigga, I'm telling you, you know.
I just want us to think about that. And I really want men who watch this to understand, like, meet us in the middle.
Please.
And it's okay if I make more than you in the financial side of the world.
I'm cool with coming a little mold in the middle, just so you know, like, what works for us. This week I
That's
might
it.
have to give 80, and I might not have 80 to give next week. But
That's
that's when
it.
you step up. Like,
Yes, meet me
most-
in my house.
most women don't mind.
Yeah.
Have the conversation.
Yeah.
Like-
Listen, come with me. Like if you see me work, baby, he'll just come lay in my lap when I get to work from home and I'm working from home. He'll just come lay his head in my lap just to be present. Like, meet me. Just because if I make more than you, that has nothing. That means I'm bringing it to our household. And so I know we got like 5 minutes, but we gonna
He
go
keep
like
flashing. That's why he over there like.
okay, well, we gonna go 5. But listen, I remember I was dating a man and he literally had lost his job. We were going out with friends. I'm this woman. I had to slide the money under the table so
that
maybe
he
you can
can
go in
pay
your
it.
pocket and pay for the. They don't need to know
Ain't they
what is happening
business.
in our house, baby. It's our house. It's me and you. So I just want men.
But a lot of men aren't okay with that. I'll say that. They don't be comfortable with it. If they ain't got it, they don't want to go.
Dre, what you say? Thank you.
Good.
I don't like who cares what this one waitress thinks?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
like,
real.
Like at the end of the day, our householders are because I could be paying for dinner today.
Because that could be attached to our joint bank account.
Listen. But
Okay.
listen, I could have paid for dinner tonight at the restaurant because you paid the mortgage yesterday.
Okay.
Don't nobody know what happened in our house.
Who knows? Who cares?
And my mama used to say, what happened in this house
Stays in this house.
stays in this house.
Ain't
That
they
just be our
business.
house. So listen, for real, I just want to have the conversation because I think women, it's just such a cliche. It's such an oxymoron that a man can make more and then it's okay for her to be kept. Baby, the only thing that needs to be kept in our relationship is each other.
Is
You
us.
keep me, I keep you.
It's us. We keep each
And let
other.
Jesus keep me near the cross. Amen.
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 Won't he do it?
Listen, I think we have conversations that literally be going past that 45-minute mark. That's how Dre be over in the back. 3, 2.
Man. Don't do
But
that.
I think this is a good one. Another one of those ones that we
All
just
of them have been good.
have been really
and
good.
let me y'all, we don't rehearse. We literally come up with a topic. She may write a few points or come up with questions, but we literally do it right here before we start.
We come up with a topic. I be
Like, what
okay.
we
Let
talking
me think about brain.
What we
I
gonna
try to
ask
brain
this?
dump so I don't
Like-
forget some of the things. But I
Like,
really think that
It's natural. It's genuine. It's not
Real
scripted.
conversation.
It's not. This is just
Real
who
hot
we
girl
are.
sh-
Ooh, period. Okay.
Bars.
But literally, so thank y'all again. This is episode 9 right now. Oh, and so guys, we plan to do episode 10 live. Please
Yes.
make sure you guys are following every social media platform because we have to drop more details. We're gonna really start promoting once we finalize everything because that we really have to plan. We can't just go off the fly. I mean, well, a little bit, but y'all know what I mean. We gotta have some things in order. So please, please, please make sure you guys are following every social media page. So Instagram, we do have one on Facebook. I never figured out how to separate it, but it does exist. TikTok, and then of course YouTube. But we will be, more so. I say Instagram is where we do the most. I would say that'll give us the more details about it. But episode 10 is gonna be live, so you guys will actually be able to comment in real time. And really join the conversation and all of that good stuff. So, yes, stay tuned. Look out for that. Thank you for all the support. Thanks for keeping us where we are. Thanks for where we're going because we are gonna go far.
right, it's real
and
big.
yeah,
House
just
real big.
cars
Real
real big. Ay,
and real
ay,
big.
ay,
Everything real big. Hey.
literally. But yeah. So thank you. I did not find
feel
a
like
joke.
Drake can't
We
stand
got a
us.
joke.
We ain't got no joke.
What's
But-
the joke? We don't have a joke today. I didn't look because y'all said go, and I was about to look, and y'all said go, and they said we can't do
It's fine.
we can't do the Pink Panther one. Jay told us not to do it because it's corny, but who cares? All right, what does the Pink Panther say when he steps on an ant?
Didn't.
Didn't. Woo! So we was on it.
Thank you.
That's from the Pink Panther game, right?
That's the sound. Yes, that's
Who
the
knows?
sound.
That's Nisi
So-
Poo in the background,
Yes,
y'all.
it's a good one.
It is.
All right, guys.
Give
so
them the
listen,
rules.
We're
Give
gonna
them
get y'all
the
the rules and get up out of here because Dre's sick of us.
All right.
But we thank y'all for real.
So much from the bottom of our hearts. Please
Listen.
join the conversation. Comment. What y'all want to talk about? I guess we can actually start commenting back, but we just be reading them and cracking up, even the hate,
Y'all
the
be
love.
having us rolling.
We
Y'all was really
appreciate it.
feeling some
Thank
type of way
you.
about them dirty shoes.
Yeah, a lot of people was mad. They was
trying to tell
they
us about women. Like y'all this.
Y'all's what superficial. That's why y'all ain't got no man.
I do.
Go read the TikToks on comments. It's
They-
funny. The comments on TikTok that came out wrong, but y'all
They
knew
knew
what
what
I
you
meant.
meant.
They always do. That's why y'all my people.
Yes.
But anyway, rule number 1:
Be good.
be good. Can't be good,
Be careful.
and if you can't be careful,
Take
your ass home.
She back.
I'm back. Okay,
She back.
I'm back.
Take yourself home. All right, guys. Peace, love, and soul. We out of here.